We are going to assemble a team to tackle one of Star Citizen's most anticipated adversaries that you'll get to meet later on. Let's meet our first specialization. All right, so we have our leader. Let's get into it. So the player's choice of clothing will be crucial in a way it hasn't been before. With magnetic plates built into many clothing items, players can now holster both primary and secondary weapons. However, in the near future, there will be locations in SC where armor and weapons are strictly prohibited. Clothing allows a player the opportunity to access these restricted areas without needing to change. And some clothing will even allow the player to conceal smaller weapons from security, should the need arise. Another new addition we're going to be introducing is flight penalties based on the mass and size of your armor and clothing. You'll still be able to fly in medium and heavy armor, but you're restricting the precision of your control. If you're in clothes like our leader is here, or a flight suit or light armor, you'll be able to fly unrestricted. Now, if we look at an overview, we've cherry-picked 6 generalized stats to give you like a high-level understanding of how various clothing and armors we specialized. This is by no means a comprehensive list of everything we have available to us. It's just a little, yeah. So here you can see the leader has low protection compared to a full suit of armor and no EVA capability, for obvious reasons, but has great movement, low emissions, allowing them to blend into bustling cities and stations. The leader really excels at freedom of movement here. Let's meet our next members. So here we have our pilot. If you remember, back in 3.23, we introduced our first specialized helmet visor, the combat visor. This introduced the dynamic crosshair and all the magazine information on your HUD. This is our pilot visor, which allows the wearer to link with their ship and cast MFDs directly into their visor. This provides the pilot with all the essential data like ship health and shields, so no longer will the pilot need to break concentration during an intense situation to look down at their MFDs. Again, like the leader in this situation, there'll be no penalties to flight, plus with added G-force resistance, the wearer will be able to get the most from out of their ship. So if we look at the pilot stats, they have fantastic mobility, like I mentioned, great G-force resistance for when combat takes them to the limit of human endurance. And finally, this suit comes with the best EVA capability in its class for when remaining in your ship is no longer an option. Here's another variant in our flight suit class, the racing flight suit. This is what our driver will be wearing. This suit, unlike the pilot flight suit, has features which are more streamlined, which allows it to have truly unmatched G-force resistance for the hardest corners on the most challenging of racetracks. It also offers great oxygen capacity and thermal protection for those planets with hostile environments. So as you can see, this flight suit excels at G-force resistance, but it loses its protection and has much weaker EVA capability. Let's meet our next team members. Okay. Here's our tank, who is wearing our heavy combat armor, combat armor is similar to what you're used to, only we're specializing it even more for combat. So what does this mean? We want our wearers of heavy combat armor to feel like walking tanks. The armor should provide fantastic coverage to limit any weak points they may have, and actually have a greater damage mitigation than what players are currently used to. Due to its mass, the armor will also feature the strongest resistance to force reactions, so that's flinch, stagger, and knockdowns, which brings me on to a full suit feature. If the player is wearing a full set of heavy combat armor, they will not be able to be knocked down by small arms fire. However, as you can see here, for all that protection, coverage, and stability, we have some major trade-offs. You're going to lose your mobility, stamina will run out much quicker, and your movement speed is severely reduced. The majority of combat armors will also lose built-in EVA thrusters, meaning you're going to have to add additional weight to be wearing an EVA pack. Next up, we have our tracker in the heavy hunter armor. This is another suit in our heavy armor class. However, this one is aimed at less at pure combat and more about hunting its prey. This is all the armor for you bounty hunters out there. The heavy hunter armor has the most powerful active scan for hunting their targets. Its scanner outshines all others in locating infrared and electromagnetic emissions, perfect for locating those targets trying to lay low, whether that be human or creature alike. Whilst it's still classed as heavy armor, it does mix things up, so it'll have slightly faster movement and mobility, but it loses the protection. You'll also be able to store more devices like deployables and throwables. So to compare the stats, whilst not as tough as our combat armor, it does gain an increase in mobility, and while its scanner is the best of the best, the armor is also incredibly noisy and emits powerful emissions. So while you may find your target with these, there's a good chance that they'll know you're coming for them. Next up, let's look at our last additions to the team. I can tell who the fan favorite is there. Yeah. So we have our sniper, who is wearing our light stealth armor. Here's another example of a full suit feature. If the wearer has all pieces equipped, so that's helmet, core, arms, and legs, due to its mass and the suit's material, their missions will run so low that they will be undetectable on radar. With it being light armor, it also has a great level of mobility and traversal speeds, meaning should the wearer be spotted, they can quickly escape or reposition with ease. And remember, with it being light armor, no flight restrictions. So with the best stealth and fantastic speed, it's a must for any players looking to assassinate, infiltrate, or in this case, be a sniper. However, the protection provided is minimal. You don't want to be engaging in a full-on firefight in this suit. And just to reiterate, folks, as well, like great specialized armors like this one and all the ones that you've seen today, you're going to have to put the work in to have these at your disposal. And finally, surrounding our group, we have that one friend. We've all played MMOs, right? We all know that one friend. That friend's me. No. They ignore all the rules and the strategy. They can only play for 30 minutes a week. They might prefer a bit of glint on their sniper scopes. Who knows? Well, here at CIG, we also support that friend, so they're on the roster too. So, we have our group.
Well, now our crew is assembled, and in a universe as big as Star Citizen, who knows what trouble they could run into. So let's find out what they're going to face. Now, they're heading to the planet Monarchs, which is in the Pyro system. So without further ado, let's find out what they're up to.